Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's something you learned, embarrassingly late, in life? I was like, 22, working at a restaurant making myself a salad. And I asked the chef for bumps and he stared at me for like 60 solid seconds trying to figure out what I wanted. I explained to him I wanted bumps for my salad. I have all the rest of the toppings but now needed bumps. Guys, my family told me croutons were called bumps my entire life. I called my dad that night and confirmed that bumps are indeed, actually called croutons. He thought you were asking for Coke, dude. That is also where I learned, bump, means, a bump of Coke. I was sort of sheltered before working in a restaurant, lol. It really bothers me when adults keep using silly or mispronounced words instead of saying the actual word. I was in high school still saying, boo-boo, because my mom wouldn't call it anything else. I didn't know what they were supposed to be called and got made fun of for it. My brother still says, pasketti, and, pancakes, instead of spaghetti and pancakes because that's the only way my grandmother pronounced it. I agree. Kinda weird. We have a couple words we use in our family, but I knew what all of the words actually were except FKN croutons lol. Though Mick Jagger's name was Mick Jagger, and people just never said his first name for some reason. Fucking hell, second comment and already learning. Yeah. Can I order a Mick Jagger meal, large? Quote. When I was a teenager, I posted a status online that said I was jacking off. I thought that meant you were just bored and wasting time. Until my older sister messaged me. Horrified. When I was a teenager, I thought the expression to eat someone out meant the same thing as to chew someone out. Unfortunately, I was educated on this after I told someone in a church that I wasn't expecting to be eaten out that morning at breakfast. I was 17 LMAO. My father still says this. He's in his 80s, and at this point there's no stopping him. My sister was in her 50s when she found out the meaning of, you have an addictive personality. She thought after all these years of therapy that it meant that people were addicted to her personality. We laugh hysterically when we talk about this, in a very sad way. Wait, does it mean like you get addicted to stuff? Yes, LMAO. This is something my little sister did through high school. We're about 8 years apart, so we never overlapped in school. She's always been a straight A student. And I found out she worked extra hard because she wanted to catch up to me in school. So we could be in school at the same time. I almost cried. That's actually adorable. My little brother had a meltdown at the age of 4 when I informed him that he would never be older than me. Edited for clarity. You're going to be so embarrassed when he tricks you into boarding a spaceship traveling near the speed of light while he remains stationary. That you don't have to stand in the shower while the water warms up. A previous thread like this years ago, someone said they didn't know you were supposed to move the towel to dry off, since on TV they just wrap it around them and walk around. They didn't like taking showers because it took almost an hour to dry after. Oh man. How do you not realize that? Have they never dried anything? Dishes. Wiped up spills. Wiped their brow. I learned that pork and beans are not called cowboy beans. I was 18 and asked a grocery store clerk to help me find the cowboy beans. We were looking everywhere and I was getting frustrated because I know that every store carries these beans. After a while I pick up a pork and beans can with a picture and say, see, it looks just like this. He says, you mean pork and beans? Then I realized that my mom called them that so that I would eat them. The look of disappointment from that grocery store clerk haunts me to this day. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Yes, hello, I'm looking for the big boy broccoli. This is just regular broccoli. Cowboy beans is a real thing, and different families make it different. But it's generally baked beans with added meat. So pork and beans would technically qualify. Although usually there's a higher meat ratio if you make them for a potluck of something. My family recipe has bacon, ground beef, and maybe a little ground Italian if you're feeling fancy. Also sometimes other types of canned beans are added and simmered in the sauce for a bit. A little ground Italian if you're feeling fancy. Did you mean Italian sausage or is this a Sweeney Todd situation? When I was in college, 20 seconds of a year old, I was getting ready to go out and it hit me like a lightning bolt. If you just thread the small end of the belt through your belt loops all the way around. Literally any belt can fit your pants. Because up until then, I thought sometimes I just had belt loops that were too small for certain belt buckles. I ran out to my friends and was like, guys, check this out. Quote, as I proceeded to demonstrate for them what I had just learned. I genuinely thought they'd be excited for me. It was then I learned that everyone else on earth knew the right way to wear a belt except my dumb ass. Unbelievable how many times up until then I spent trying to jam the buckle side in first and coming to the conclusion I just needed bigger belt loops. Edit. Thank you for the awards and the hilarious comments. Unfortunately, this is a true story and I have no good excuse for why this dumb thing took me so long to figure out except to say I'm a woman and guess I didn't wear pants with belts that often. Believe it or not, I graduated from college and lead a pretty successful and fulfilling life. We all do stupid stuff and I'm glad this story of my stupid thing made so many of you laugh. They let you into college? Greendale Community College. OMG, I'm cackling at you showing your friends. This reminds me of a friend I had in college. Super friendly, jolly, popular guy who did very well with ladies. One morning he walks out all proud and excited to tell us, guys, I just figured out the easiest way to put on a condom. You just set it on top like a disc, and then roll it down. Quote. Evidently he'd been unrolling them and then pulling them on like a sock. Nah, you were right the first time. This is why pro wrestlers carry their belts and have no pants.